Hello! It is Tuesday, January 21st. I hope you guys are doing well. I had to come in here today and do a follow-up video about my post yesterday. So for those of you who took the time to read it, to comment on it, to share some love about it, I appreciate you guys so much, and I want to thank you for being in my tribe and being part of my community. I appreciate each and every one of you. I haven't gotten response from a post like that in a long time, so it made me feel really good that a lot of people got some value out of that. So I wanted to follow up and do a video about this because I got a private message from someone who said, really resonated with what you said yesterday, but how do I know if someone is not my person, especially when they've been my person for years? So what I did was I came up with 5 questions that I thought were the most important questions for you to ask yourself about the people that you're spending time with, the people who are in your inner circle. There are a lot of other questions, but I think that these 5 are the top 5 questions to ask yourself, even about the people that you enjoy being with. So I hope this helps you in making you, maybe make a difficult decision about whether or not to have someone be your friend or not, or to let them go. So the first question, do you feel good when you're in their company, right? Do you feel good around them? Energy doesn't lie. I can't tell you how many times that I would be with somebody and, they've been my friend for a while and I'm just not getting the right feel, right? I don't feel good when I'm in their presence, when we're talking. It's like their energy is negative. It just doesn't jive with the energy that I'm putting out. So that's number 1. Energy doesn't lie. They don't feel good when you're with them. Really no reason to be with them. Number 2, do they share your values? This is a big one for me. I have on my, I have a sticky note right here that I keep on my desk that lists some of the most important values that I have. And my goal is every time I put out a post or reach out to somebody and talk to someone, I want to make sure that I'm staying true to my values. That's something that's really important to me. So for instance, some of my big values are love, courage, joy, strength, passion, connection. Those are big values for me. And if the person that I'm hanging out with or talking with, if they don't share my values, right? If there's someone that is inherently negative and positivity, being a positive person is one of my values, we're not going to jive. And right then and there is a reason that, okay, this is not my person. Doesn't mean that they may not down the road become one of my people, but this is not my person. So ask yourself, what are my values, and do the people around me share the same values? It's very important. Number 3, do they call you out on your bullshit? This is a big one. This is a big one. A lot of people are yes people. And I've surrounded myself with yes people. You know who they are. Like, you put on a piece of clothing and you're like, do I really look good in this? And they're like, oh yeah, you look great in that. Or you're going to go do something and they're like yesing you to death because they don't have the courage to disagree with you. That's a big red flag. You want people who are going to be open and honest and say, Susan, you are, this is a bullshit story you're telling yourself, or Susan, stop playing small and put yourself out there. I believe in you. They call you out on your bullshit. That's very, very important. They're not doing it in a mean way. They're ultimately doing it because they love you and they support you, but they're willing to be courageous around you, right? They're willing to tell you what they really think and call you out on your bullshit. That's a big one. Number 4. Are they holding you back and or self-sabotaging you? This is something that I've encountered in my life. And I've heard other people encounter it too, and I'll tell you how. A really good example that some people can relate to. So I had a really good friend who told me that she was trying to lose weight. And she was, every time she was going out with one of her friends, she was very, she was very forthcoming, and it's like, listen, I'm trying to be good. I'm not going to go out drinking like I did before. If I go out drinking, I'm going to have one drink, and I'm not going to eat a lot like I normally used to. And so she'd go out, and this other person was like, oh, come on, you can have more drinks. You can eat more. You can, come on, stop. You don't need to lose weight, even though it was something that was really important to her. And her friend was going out of her way to sabotage that effort, right? Holding her back from what she wanted. If you have friends that are holding you back from what you want, they're not your friends. If they're sabotaging your efforts to grow into a more powerful version of yourself, or to explore different parts of yourself, they're not your people. They're not your people. Let them go. And lastly, do they support you following your dream? Do they support the vision you have for your life? I'll give you an example from my own life. When I was getting divorced, right, when I made the choice to get divorced, it was not popular with a lot of people, family included. They were like, Susan, you can definitely work it out. Susan, you can do this. This is a big mistake. And it didn't, while I valued their opinion, some people weren't in a position, they were not supportive of my decision at all. And that doesn't mean that you can't disagree with somebody, but they weren't supportive. And it was right then and there. It's like, the vision I have for my life is different than the one I have now. And either you're coming along with me and supporting with me, still calling me on my bullshit if I have some, but supporting me in my decision and loving me regardless, right? You want to surround yourself with people like that, who wholeheartedly see you, love you, honor you, and want you to honor yourself and support you in that decision and in the journey that you're going to take down the road. Do they support you? I've had people tell me recently that they don't think I should be so bold publicly on Facebook, that I shouldn't talk about the things that I want to do, right? They're cautious for me. They think that they're looking out. Well, actually, they think that they are looking out for my own best interest, but they're really vocal about not being so forthcoming. And that's okay. It's okay. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily not my people, but, I want to surround myself with people who are like, Susan, we believe in you. We know that if this feels right to you, then you should go for it, and we will support you. And if you're having a hard time, we'll talk to you. Like, those are your people. Your people aren't just yes people, or if what you're doing doesn't align with what they're doing, you just let them go. Something that somebody asked me too, they were like, I really enjoyed what you had to say. I really liked what you had to say. How do you stop? How do you unravel the connection you have with somebody? And every situation is different. But the biggest piece of advice I would give is ask yourself those 5 questions. Do you feel good when you're around them? Do they share your values? Do they call you out on your bullshit? Are they holding you back or sabotaging you? And do they support you in your dream? Ask yourself those questions. And then if you have people around you who don't fit into that, don't fit into who your people are, that you slowly begin to disconnect from them. It doesn't need to be abrupt. It can be something as simple as on Facebook, for instance, if you're not ready to unfriend someone, unfollow them. You can do that, I think, for 30 days, or you can just unfollow them so you're not seeing their posts, but they're not your friends, but they're still your friends. Or you can slowly not go out with them as often, or you can limit the amount of time that you spend with them. There are subtle little ways that you can slowly unravel yourself or disentangle yourself from them, where it's not so abrupt and it doesn't feel so icky, because it can be icky. If this is something that you need help with, if this resonates with you, DM me. let's get on let's have a conversation. Let's get on the phone or meet in person if you're local. I hope that this has added value to you. I want to thank you guys again so much for taking time out of your day to listen, to interact, to comment, to reach out. It makes me so happy when I hear that people are really getting some value from some of the stuff that I put out there. And I wish you guys a great week, and I'll be back in here soon. Take care. Bye.